I asked you what you thought the coldest thing in the solar system was, what would you say? Would you say maybe one of the ice giants like Neptune or Uranus? Or maybe you would say it's the Oort cloud, which hangs out at the very outer edges of our solar system. I mean, before I learned about our topic today, I thought it was my ex-girlfriend's heart. But what if I were to tell you that the coldest thing in the solar system was actually right here on Earth? Welcome to the Large Hadron Collider. The LHC is made up of several magnets that operate at about 1.9 Kelvin. To compare, the average temperature of outer space runs at 2.7 degrees Kelvin. In other words, space is negative 454.81 degrees Fahrenheit, and the LHC would be 271. No, that's Celsius. Negative 456.25 degrees Fahrenheit. It's about right. Yeah. Now, a 1.5 degree difference may not seem like that much, but to be able to get something that cold that's man-made is incredibly challenging. So how do they do this? They do it with liquid helium. They use about 96 tons of this stuff. It's one of the largest cryogenic systems ever built. In fact, it's way bigger than the system they built to freeze Walt Disney's head. But why does it need to be that cold? Well, the LHC uses more than 1,200 magnets to steer proton beams around its 17-mile underground ring. But those magnets will only work if they're insanely cold. And at those temperatures, they become superconductors, which allow electricity to flow with almost no resistance. And as a result, CERN can create the enormous magnetic fields that are required to steer these proton beams without wasting a ridiculous amount of energy. Which, I mean, is pretty good because they're already using 1.3 terawatts of electricity per year. That's about enough to power 300,000 homes, or if you've been in this heat wave, probably 2. So anything they can do to conserve power is incredibly helpful. In fact, it kind of reminds me of when I was a kid and I would be at home and go outside and I would leave the front door open. I can just hear my grandma now if she worked for CERN instead of the Franklin Institute. Close the door! You think micro black holes are free? But, I mean, somehow, being colder than space isn't the most fascinating thing about this machine. In the next episode, I'm going to explain how it's so big and empty, and why it's so big and empty, and what it has to do with John Fishman from Fish playing a vacuum.